We're gonna make our Forager nachos tonight. So I gave you a bag of these awesome chips that we use in house from Whole Grain Millers. They're down in Welcome, Minnesota. There's a mix of blue corn and yellow corn chips in here. So basically just gonna take like a pie pan, cookie sheet, whatever you want to use to throw them in. We have preheated our oven to 375 degrees. We're just gonna fill up that pan with the chips, and then we're gonna take our shredded pork, if you got the omnivore's version, and you're gonna spread the shredded pork around the top of your chips. Just kind of scrape it out of there. We smoke this pork at Forager in-house and then pull it for you. We use it on a couple different dishes, like our Cuban. It's on a couple of our pizzas. But it's just absolutely wonderful pork. They do a great job of cooking this stuff and get that nice little red smoked bark on the outside. So I'll make sure that these nachos are nicely covered in that, because there's a little bit of fat in there that's going to kind of seep to the bottom and not necessarily fry the chips, but just drizzle some more moisture over them, give it some great flavor. So you've got this nice pulled pork spread about the nachos, and then we are going to take our goat cheese, some fresh chev, and toss little dollops of that onto the top of that pork and chips. And keep that coming around. And try and break it up. You don't want super tiny crumbles, but you don't want super huge clumps. So you see I've got one little bit larger clump there. So I'm just gonna grab it with my hands and break it into a couple other smaller bits, so it's evenly scattered throughout. And finally, I'm gonna take our shredded cheddar cheese, do the same thing, just a nice even topping throughout the rest of the nachos. It looks like a lot of topping, but we got a lot of chips underneath there. And trust me, you're gonna want all this melty, ooey gooey cheese in there once it comes time to eat these. So there we go. So we're gonna take this now, pop it into the oven at that 375 degrees. So probably about 7 to 10 minutes. We're just gonna wanna wait till the cheese starts to kind of melt through and we hear that pork sizzling. Alrighty. 7 minutes in the pan. The nachos are looking great. So you can hear that pork sizzling. Cheese is nicely melted. So we're gonna serve it on a plate. And feel free to eat it right out of the dish if you'd like to. This will kind of help spread everything around a little bit. That is a pile of nachos. I hope you're hungry. And now we're going to top this off with some of our pico de gallo. Just gonna sprinkle this all around. There we go. A bunch of pico. Throw on some of our chimichurri sauce, just dollops, let those plop all over it. Right, and finally, some dollops of sour cream. If you don't want to dollop this on there, you can just dip your nachos right in it afterwards. And if you like them a little extra spicy, if you have some of your favorite hot sauce, then feel free to drizzle some hot sauce over the top as well. But there you have it, our Forager Brewery